I love getting feedback, both in the YouTube comment section and on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at Maraudin, and if you're interested, I would greatly appreciate if you were willing to support me on Patreon. You can find the links for both my Twitter and Patreon here in the image and also in the video description below. Thank you and enjoy watching. Those of you who watch my channel know that there's a video from January 2016 that says all about how I quit World of Warcraft. When Legion came out, I played the game, and as of December 1st, 2017, I'm still playing it, and I probably will continue to do so. Now, a few weeks ago, Blizzard at BlizzCon 2017 announced that sometime in the future they're going to release a classic version of World of Warcraft. There's a few things to keep of note for this. One, just like any other Blizzard title, there is no release date yet, and there will not be an announced release date until Blizzard feels that it will be ready. Second, look at the name. It's World of Warcraft Classic. It's not World of Warcraft Legacy or just World of Warcraft or World of Warcraft Vanilla. There's a reason why Blizzard chose the word classic. It's because there are some things that are more than likely going to be changed from what old-time players remember or new-time players expect based on what they've heard. To this end, I'm going to break down a few things that I consider extremely probable, very likely, not so likely, and flat out just won't happen. All right, let's get to it. This is definitely happening. The launcher, as we know it today, has been around for many years, but it is not the original way to launch World of Warcraft, even into Burning Crusade. With this new launcher, expect changes to your classic version of World of Warcraft. Among other things, the selection, where currently you can select either the default game or the PTR or the beta test, that's probably where Classic will fit in. Also, recently, Blizzard reintroduced things like voice chat. That didn't exist in the original version of the game. It'll be there now. Further, somewhere along the line of the game, Blizzard introduced the ability to add real friends, either via the real ID, which assumes that you actually know the person and you're adding them via email, or you want cross-realm and cross-faction friendships via the BattleNet tag. There's a few other features like being able to control the game settings and open the console and even being able to select things like the 32-bit or 64-bit versions of the client that will exist in the launcher for Classic. None of these things existed when Vanilla first came out in November of 2004, and they will exist today. Just keep that in mind that I tick this off as most definitely happening. For very likely, we can expect to see add-on support in the game. Whether you choose to get your add-ons from CurseForge or WoW Interface or some other trusted website like Tuck UI or CT Mods or wherever you choose to find your add-ons. The one thing, though, to keep in mind, however very likely to see add-on support, is that there will be changes, and I'll get more into those under very unlikely or unlikely to happen or definitely not going to happen. But for now, just keep in mind that it's very likely you will see add-on support. Not likely, but still possible are things like achievements and the collections tab. The reason why I give them the possibility is that while neither one of these two things existed in the original World of Warcraft, and in the case of collections, got broken up throughout some of the later expansions, is things like the ability to accrue achievements that you couldn't do, can't do now, and have always wanted to do when it actually is challenging content. And when you get these, maybe you want to switch to a high level character and see that you've got them, especially things like feats of strength. The reason why I think it's not likely, but still possible for collections, is because assuming, of course, that they don't completely sandbox Classic, then people are going to be running around with hundreds of mounts and pets and dozens of appearances and heirlooms and things like that. In World of Warcraft Classic, not only were all of those things, I mean, in some cases like heirlooms and things like that, just not existing, but for the items that did exist, they soaked up bag space. There was no place in the Blizzard UI for them to be permanently learned and removed from your inventory. In other words, you had to hang on to those items. Further, there just simply was far less bag space. So not only did any item that you want, any mount or pet that you want, uh, take up inventory, you just simply had less inventory. It's possible, however unlikely, that Blizzard will change that for Classic and allow collections and achievements into the game, even though it will break part of the experience of vanilla. Getting back to add-ons for a moment, this is definitely not going to happen. In the original vanilla, the UI code allowed for quite a bit of automation and other so-called features that Blizzard did not actually intend or want players to accomplish using the add-on scripting code. And there were moments where one week you would be doing a raid of Molten Core and you would be happily using, say, decursive, and the next week Blizzard had nerfed it, and decursive wasn't the only such item or add-on that got blown up. So keep in mind that while add-on support probably will happen, the add-on support will more than likely echo the values and capabilities available to the game today. So modern live servers and what you can and cannot do with them is what you can expect in World of Warcraft Classic. There you go. A list of probable, likely, not very likely, and definitely not happening stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of things that we could add to this list. And if you want to discuss in the comments, go right ahead. I'd love to get some feedback. And like I said earlier, you can send me a message on Twitter. We'll get a whole conversation going here because this is a really interesting topic. Okay, in the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later in the next video. Thanks.